Here we are in God's Acre Cemetery. A moment ago I recorded a little clip up there where that truck just passed is where the gate, where you come into this cemetery, and you come back here towards the back, and we've got a couple of graves back here. It looks like this is in memory of Miss Mary Edwards, daughter of the Reverend Timothy, who died September 17th, 1776, I believe, in the 76th year of her age. So that would have been one of Jonathan's sisters. Here's another one. Here lies the body of, not sure, daughter of the Reverend Timothy Edwards. So if I looked at a family tree, I might be able to make that out. But it appears right here we have two of Edwards' sisters. And then right here, the body of Jerusha Edwards, who died in 1729. But that would not be the Jerusha that was a helpmeet for David Brainerd, if we want to call it that. According to the lady I'm going to talk to Wednesday, she told me that she is just absolutely certain if Jerusha Edwards, not that Jerusha, but Jonathan's daughter Jerusha and David Brainerd had lived, she knows they would have been married. But we'll talk about that more when we get to the cemetery at Northampton. So what we have here, it appears that we have the mother of Jonathan Edwards, the headstone for Jonathan Edwards' mother. It's kind of hard to make out, but it looks like here lies, and the little Y was short for the word "the." Here lies the remains of Miss Esther Edwards, daughter of the Reverend Mr. Solomon Stoddard of Northampton. The comfort, no, not sure, of Timothy Edwards. Okay, maybe, okay, maybe the comforter of Reverend Edwards, meaning his wife, of something, for who died, I believe that's January 10th or 19th, I could be completely wrong, 17, not sure, okay, so I think that's all I can make out on that. Different angles may show it a little better, and it's actually showing up better on the phone screen than it is in person. The sun's about to set. Look back over that way, and the light is a little bit dark. And then right here we have Jonathan Edwards' father, Timothy. It's kind of hard to make out because of the angle, and it's pretty tall, as you can see. Jonathan's mother's marker comes up to my breastbone, so it's a pretty high mark. But I'm going to try to make out some of it for you. In memory of the Reverend Mr. Timothy Edwards, pastor of the Second Society in Windsor, who something and piety rendered him an excellent, and in the judgment of charity by the believing of heaven, a a shepherd, I believe. A shepherd, something of the, or maybe faithful minister of the gospel, who died January 27th, 1758, at the age of 64. No, that wouldn't be right. He died in 1758. I don't think he would have been 64 years old, because Jonathan was born in 1703. Of the ministry, I believe, and his remains buried under this stone. Perhaps maybe that's when this was set up. I'm not sure. A man of God who nobly pled or pledged his something and his dad great concern on souls by heaven. This stone will long outlast. Okay, so I think it's saying his effects will far outlast how long this stone lasts. When grace completes, when grace completes the work begun, bright something will get his something crown. Alright, so that's about all I can make out of it. Yeah, so now that I look back on the phone screen, it's actually looking a lot better on here than I am trying to look at it with my bare eye. So you could probably make that out better looking at the screen than I could looking at it in person. But there we go. This is my first stop here in the town that's provided fruitful. Like I said earlier, Edward's grave marker, excuse me, Edward's birth marker. Something must have happened to it in the last couple of days. So hopefully the good passerby will give me a call in the next few days and say that the city put it back up. There's also some spray paint on the road where that marker is. Maybe that way when the road crew comes back out, they know exactly where to stop and put it back up. I'm not sure, but that is somewhat disappointing. But who knows? Maybe the Lord's behind it. Did get to talk to somebody. So there we have Jonathan Edwards' mother and Jonathan Edwards' father. Jonathan Edwards' mother, Jonathan Edwards' father, and it looks like over here some more of his siblings. The book I have, there is a mark. There's a note for the map to send me to where Timothy Edwards Church was. So I'm gonna go try to find that next before it gets dark. One little application, I guess, while we're here. You know, when we raise our children, we never know what they're gonna end up doing. We never know what they're gonna end up being like. But little did they know, little did her father, Jonathan's grandfather, Solomon Stoddard, and Mr. Timothy, his son, Jonathan, little did this couple know what their son was going to go on to do. And then when Mrs. Edwards' father, Solomon Stoddard, when his health went, started going south, I'm sure from what I've read, him being the Pope of the Connecticut River Valley, I believe he's called, he probably could have picked anyone he wanted, I would assume. And in God's providence, his grandson Jonathan was the man for the job, and here we are reaping the benefits over 300 years later, nearly. So, hope that this little video has been a blessing. The next stop will be Timothy Edwards Church, or probably at least the location where the church once stood. But I'm going to try to find that next. Alright, see you on the next video.